Welcome back to the new professional StarCraft 2, a best of 5 on the new balance. Oh god. Anyways, in the top right, we have herO. herO. The best Protoss in the world, and we'll see how we respond to the Zerg player who doesn't respect anyone or anything. We'll go to his most relevant base. Of course, it's Dark. Dark, who every one of the matches we've seen on this new patch, he's decided to reject the changes and cheese anyways. So, proxy hatch. Here we are. He's managed to take both naturals simultaneously. This isn't even supposed to be like roaches or anything. This is just the much more dramatic Zerg equivalent of an engineering bay block. So maybe after it's finally dealt with here, we can talk about some of the relevant changes. You can check out my video breaking it down, but the most relevant changes will start with Protoss. Shield battery overcharge, nerfed. Less ability to recharge those shields. The Disruptor has about a 20% smaller radius, so a little harder to pick off units. The Carrier got a big nerf in that units will automatically prioritize the Carrier unless on hold position, so a little easier to deal with late-game Sky Toss. But the Observer and the High Templar glide slightly faster across the map, so they got that going for them. On the other side, Zergs still don't like 2 Adepts early. The creep vision, the vision from the hatcheries was increased. Creep vision slightly reduced, so that way it doesn't extend past the edge of the creep from a creep tumor. Nothing in the early game here, though. Hydra speed got buffed. Ultras are on a diet plan now. And Abduct now stuns the Viper while it's abducting, so it's easier to pick off. So that is somewhat of a nerf. Overall, though, Dark... Oh, another key one for Dark. Ravager build time is about 2 seconds longer. It says 3 seconds in the patch notes. It works out to a little less than that because I'm actually not sure why, but because of weird engine mechanics right now. So we'll see if that's fixed by the time the patch goes live. But this is on the balance test mod, but this is the ESL Cup. We're playing on the new patches here. We're forcing these players to put, well, with money on the line, put their best builds out there. Of course, there's still an open argument about whether Dark has any builds, so here we are. Wait, there's still a drone in the base. What? What? He must have gone into an extractor. Well, Surround might get one of the Adepts, the other one very stressed out about it. The drone finally dies. Dark had a drone scouting the entire base up until 4:20 here, which is Dark Shrine timing. There's Glaive Adepts on the way, but at this point, the Adept count is being whittled down by the Zerglings. All right, everybody simmer down. herO already setting up a proxy pylon. We'll probably slap a gate at it as well. Dark, does he have a lair or a roach warren? None of the above. The Adepts are shitty across. And remember, Dark definitely saw the Twilight. He knows. And he knows the option for Dark Shrine is there, of course. So, how does he deal with that? Zerglings, conventionally, are not the best counter to Glaive Adepts, as they get sliced through quite easily. But it's a numbers game. You get enough Zerglings. Well, at some point, you actually just... There is no such thing as enough Zerglings. Like, the sheer surface area is not there for the melee units, but Banelings can definitely tilt the scales, but the Baneling nest is not yet completed. The Adepts looking to shade into the natural. Not gonna happen. Oh, another! Oh, Dark just... Wow, herO blindsided. Don't you know, this is Dark, okay? You're not... So there's no detection at all. There is no detection at all. Yes, the DTs are taking their sweet time. I think Dark is a little suspicious after that recall. Like, wait a second. Yeah, he realized... Oh, he saw the glimmer. He saw it with the Overlord. Oh, is he gonna use... Come on, Dark, do it. Do it. He's gonna detonate Banelings. He's trying to... Oh, my God! Oh! He's trying to detonate the Banelings. Oh, he kills DTs without detection. This is the most dark thing I've ever seen. Who needs detection? I have Lings and Banes, nerd. Oh my god. He does not respect your tech, your units. And now he's on the counterattack. +1 melee on the way. The DT shut down. There's an... Okay, well... Oh yeah. Probably the most important change is Archons can fit through this wall here. You're not seeing it right now, but Archons can now hold the door, which... While they still don't have Raising Depot's technology, the Protoss pretty happy about that. Their collision with units is a little different, but their collision with buildings, which does create some odd scenarios. But no, you can't counter Archons with Zerglings. Someone tell him that this is not how you counter Archons. Well, okay, he kills all the Archons. It wasn't super cost-effective, but it was effective. He killed so much gas with mostly just Zerglings. I want to be clear, Zerglings and Banelings got 0 changes in the new patch. Once again, Dark is like, in this tournament, this is the same day that he played against Byun and just did Ravager. But Dark is determined to do everything but play with the changes. Then again, that's an important part of testing, right? Like, is kind of a control group. Not the conventional kind that players pretend to use, but instead, what would happen if we just played with the rest of the units? Is that relevant? And for Dark, apparently, it's fine. He's got 4 bases here. He's just now finishing a lair. We're 8 minutes in. Sometimes you get a hive by this point, but Dark is just finishing his lair. Roach Worm being thrown on. The Adepts. Nope, there's no escape. Those are Glaive the Adepts. Another, like, these recalls, though. I am perpetually... This is one of my most medium peeves. All right? Of my pet peeves, it is slightly below the Reaper wall for Protoss. The recalling units that are obviously going to die and aren't that valuable. Like, saving 3 Adepts, was that more important than having recall as an option for your army or like a Warp Prism for the next, over like a minute and a half? Was it? But it felt like a good idea at the time. Like... Even herO does it. herO is literally the best Protoss in the world right now. And he's over here recalling like 3 out of 6 Adepts. Well, Nidus Network. Does Dark... No, you can't... Okay. That's too many Archons, right? At some point, the splash damage... Oh my god. Well, let's see how big that radius is. Approximately 0 roaches. The old Disruptor would have killed like 2 roaches there. But the new slimmed down... This is the diet patch. Archons slipping through walls. Workers being able to attack slightly quicker when they decelerate. And, well, this has nothing to do with Zerglings in the base. But Dark playing like a Terran here. That Zealot putting in huge work to hold... The tiny choke point, well set up here, but Zerg, once again, Dark is in everywhere. The Archons are back. Oh, if only there was a recall. If there was a recall, herO, maybe. But at the same time, recall is still on cooldown, by the way. He's got about 15 more seconds. There goes the Robo Bay. He's warping in some DTs. There's no detection on this side of things, but... Dark is just ripping him apart here. This is usually how you're... Oh my god! He's making those disruptors look useless. Wow, he dodged it all. He targeted the second and dodged the first. The escape Nidus. He's got his choice. The force field. All the force field did was make it harder to kill. And there are roaches over here. Dark is toying with his food. And... Oh my god, herO cannot keep up with this. a disruptor, but he's got to dodge his own disruptor shot. Thankfully, the radius is smaller, so it's easier to do. He's just popping. He's got Nidus everywhere. Oh my god. Oh, and Mutas! Where did they come from? Wow, there's so many Mutas! Is this a Muta GG? Oh, this is a Muta GG. Wait, that's so many Archons. I guess you can get them into the base. Hello? Dark is everywhere. Oh my god, the disruptors, the mineral line. He hard-walled it off, so, like, even well, you can kind of see him maneuvering through. That's helping. Wow! Wow, Dark. The disrespect. Dark Zerg handling. The best Protoss in the world. Wow. That was more one-sided than a Mobius strip right there. That, I don't know. herO trying to be cute, but Dark stomping all over his plans. He expanded to both naturals, and it only got worse for herO after that. I love watching Dark. I like how he doesn't need... Somehow he always has the resources. Despite being so sloppy with his units, it seems like he's so efficient. It looks like he loses every fight, and then he comes out with an army that he has twice as much as you expect. He's got an army in the main and the fourth, and Muta's on the way. It's all about what's under the hood, all right? I feel like Dark is like one of those mid-size U-Haul trucks for maybe those from the beautiful country of Europe. It's like a moving van kind of thing, but like a half semi-truck. But in the back, there's just like 38 Zerglings, 4 Banelings, and half a Nidus network that's building. And then you just go into your opponent's driveway, open it up. It's like, oh my god! Yeah, we lost track of that analogy about the beginning, but here we are. It's a new year. We got new builds, and Dark has even less hex to give. This is a pool first, but it's a designated pressure, okay? It's a gasless pool first, which means he's not intending to kill herO by any means. herO knows that. He saw no gas. So now you have to play Zergling chicken. But Zerglings are much larger than chickens, so it's very dangerous. Oh no, he got behind him. What is he doing? Dark, no, you can't, no. No, he doesn't get in there. Okay, yeah, get out of here. Get out. There's 2 zealots. All right. But I thought somehow he'd butter up his Zerglings and get by the zealot, but he got one by. It ended up working out for herO. Thing is, herO now is forced into bringing these units across the map. It's clear that Dark will not have a response. He's not going to have gas. He's not going to have speed. It's just Queenslings, maybe Spines. 2 Adepts are going to be very dangerous. And look at Dark's drone count. 17 to 20. So even though Dark has this extra expo, he doesn't really have that much larva. He doesn't have much of a direct response to the Adepts. So. Oh, wow. That queen, it's just a queen. It's like, whoa, well, all right. That's too much for me. I don't know. I gotta be careful about that. herO doesn't want to risk it. He knows, well, Dark made a few more lings here. Obviously, keeping as many lings alive as possible is very helpful. Oh, I love the shades from both sides. Very cinematic. Stargate on the way. And once again, there's no way you can pin down those Adepts. Dark It's not a Reaper. Oh. The Queen Intimidation. We don't like your kind around here. Okay, he's slipping and sliding and shading around. That's enough. That's enough. And the Queen just shows up and the Adept moves away. I feel like part of Dark's strength is being Dark. He's not quickly. He's always been like this. But as time goes on, he's even more... He's like Byun, where he's not the best Zerg, but he's the most Zerg. Just like Byun might not be the best Terran, though he's quite close, but he's the most Terran. And I don't think that's up for debate. Like... No, don't! Go home! Are you insane with this Oracle? He's like, 2 more Zerglings are really gonna make it worth it, at risk of the entire Oracle. Queen pops out. Oracle's like 3 Queen hits away if the shields are gone. No. Cure is the people's Terran, but he's not the most Terran. Like, you gotta have something to aspire to. And Cure is, I think, reminds most Terrans too much of themselves. DRG and or Sue are the people's Zergs, because they pretty much reject using anything that requires extra control groups in favor of just making more Roaches, Lings, and Banes, and usually suffer for it. Whereas Dark is over here with more control groups than he has fingers somehow. Though he usually chooses to just use 2 of those fingers, choice ones, for his opponent. +1 melee. It's gonna be a Dark Shrine again. We got the Oracles build. 3 Oracles to open up. Robotics. We got there. Robotics Facility, Charge, and Dark Shrine. The Queens! Ah! Oh, just loses an Oracle. Trying to fight another Queen. Is there a Transfuse? There is, right? Yep. Yeah. Oh, this is not going great. Like, sure, but... Wait, what? He unburrowed this? What are you doing? That was a misclick. 100%. I don't know what his hotkey was, but that was totally a misclick. I don't... There's no way you meant to unburrow that spine. Well, now the Roach Warren on the way. A Baneling Nest. Dark has 70 drones. Like, wow. Despite, how many has he lost? He lost 7 drones. 68 drones. He's got 4 bases, 1 macro hatch for now. Queen strongly discouraging the Oracles from any further. What is that? Look at this. Look at this Sim City from herO. You gotta... there are some approved mineral paths. It actually barely blocks mining. He is kind of blocking one of the close patches, but it's about as good as you can get while still having multiple buildings in your mineral line. And now this is actually a very dangerous attack. Here coming out, he put together some DT Archons with it. Some charge lots that warp in right up in Dark's grill here. And can he smell what herO is cooking? Wait, in Dark's grill. It's a charge lots. He's cooking charge lots. Those charge lots get marinated by the Banelings. Here come the Oracles targeted down. And where herO, where are your units? He just lost all his units. The Oracle versus the Queen. Queen wins! Wait, everyone loses. Somehow everyone lost. The Archon's getting stuck in front of the Zealots. They still have the same level of unit collision. It's just buildings they don't get stuck on as much, which makes them a little better in mineral lines with like spore crawlers and stuff. Dark doesn't have that many roaches, but he continues reinforcing. The spore crawler moving into position here. The spore crawler is actually kind of a huge deal. Yeah, he forces the War Prism to move. Dark is maneuvering around. He has a 4th base, but he's taking a lot of damage. Some micro here. Where are the Queens to target the Prism? Charge lots on top of everything. Dark's supply is still pretty good, but a lot of it's being delivered right now. This has been a masterful defense from Dark. From what looked to be almost nothing to... He halts. It felt like he was pulling on threads of a spider web there, where no matter where he went, herO kept getting stuck. He kept getting bogged down. He made some progress, but he just ended up surrounding himself. Wow. I don't know how many players would have defended that, but there's still... But wait, there's more. He built more drones. He's like, you wouldn't do it again. And here we are. Well, some of those drones gonna get slaughtered here, but that means the charge lot's gonna be dispatched by the roaches. The drones mineral walking through. Most will survive. And Dark, another comfortable defense. Well, the first defense wasn't comfortable. It was very tense and like 2 or 3 roaches away from being tilted the other way. But yeah, herO gets shut down. Wow. Just play like Dark. Couple Ruptors on the way. The only thing here, Ravagers actually take a little bit longer. Creep spread takes a little longer to cool down as well. I neglected to mention that the cooldown on spreading creep tumors is 13 seconds instead of 11, so it takes a little longer, as well as having slightly less vision. The vision now only extends to the edge of the creep. It actually used to extend slightly further. Fun fact, or maybe not so fun fact. So a lot of players would move their armies around right at the edge of the creep, and you'd be able to catch a glimpse of them. Which, in my opinion, was a little silly. And I'm glad the change was made. It feels a little more fair. Of course, you have to wait until the creep spreads all the way out, but the fact it could see further than that was a bit much. Well, here are 4 disruptors. 1, 2... Oh, wait, no! herO! I'm sorry, I apologize for my outburst, but herO should as well, because he completely whiffed that. Like, he's suffering from multiple disruptor syndrome, MDS here, where you have so many disruptors you can't help but screw up like half of them. Because disruptors are a unit you actually have to just kind of stare at the whole time. And once you get too many disruptors, you end up throwing them out there. And this happens to all the Protoss. I've never seen a Protoss able to control more than 5 disruptors without at least having to dodge 1 or 2 of their own shots. It's a real issue. Meanwhile, herO's on a desperate counterattack. Dark is pretty much maxed out. He's adding in Banelings. The disruptors are in kind of an awkward spot to do anything. The beautiful surround from Dark. Oh, incredible splits. And yes, Dark's gonna... Oh yeah, warp those in. He just cancels the warp in by juggling the prism here. Dark killed a base. He's killing an Archon. He's in the mineral line. The Zerglings with +2 killed the 4th, killed an Archon defending the base, and started working on the probes. Meanwhile, Dark holds on to his expansion. It's a disaster for herO here. He is not getting the work done. These disruptors are way too far forward. One shot gets a couple Ravagers, but the reinforcement should be more than enough. Those disruptors are dead weight now. And Dark, a dominant 2-0 here. Wow! It's some entertaining and incredibly impressive. Like, not many people think of Dark as a micro player, but it's just because his micro is so different than everyone else. He puts himself in these weird spots where you're not used to seeing it. So it's more like, it's like watching a tuna fight a lion, okay? But in space. They both have space suits, but it's like a space aquarium. And that's how Dark do. And that's his natural habitat. Well, which is the tuna? Whichever one ends up, whichever one's crazier. Okay, it's more like, well, maybe it's... Now, the tuna's in the aquarium, and the lion is in a spacesuit in the aquarium in space. So it's 0G, so the tuna can move around, but the lion also has disruptors. Unfortunately, the disruptors got nerfed, so they can't hit the tuna. In fact, the lion ends up hitting its own paws sometimes. So we're really getting out of paws on this one. I don't know. And then the tuna develops a taste for lion. I don't know. Which, it's all downhill from there. The lion is in a spacesuit. How does it hit anything? Good question, right? That's the problem here. At this point, it's unclear. Is that... Dark. Oh, dark. I don't know what herO does here. Like, Dark has dictated the pace of the game, by the way. Remember, game 1, proxy hatch. Game 2, pool first. Which means herO has been unable to do what, well, very likely, I seriously doubt herO planned on dealing with a proxy hatch and then going 2-gate adept instead of expanding on Tropical Sacrifice. I would be surprised if that was the original playbook. But for the first time in the series, you're on Data See Game 3. Like and subscribe. Just came to my mind. We have something resembling a standard opener, which is the Zerg player being annoyed at getting blocked at their natural, taking the third, and then getting harassed by adepts. Well, the drones are pulled. He dodges one. The adept takes a lot of damage. Like, there's a bunch of units over here. There's an oracle on the way. It's a little bit of an odd start, as herO is really getting up in Darkstro. Usually players expand to the outside. I mean, it's a little like half and half. This is why I love Dark. Dark dodged the base. Like, he dodged the adept hit. With a spore crawler, he's like, yeah, I just need a spore anyway, so like, I got it. And those oracles were quite quick. They were, he delayed warp gate slightly to get the Stargate. I assume he chrono boosted the oracles, and now here we are. So. Not that that's going to do much at this moment. Oracles slipping and sliding around. They're slippery units, for sure. herO taking a third behind. So this is... It's becoming the more standard herO game, where you got the oracles to cover your bases, and then transitioning into ground forces behind. We got the Twilight, the Forge. Another thing, it hadn't become relevant before Game 3. But Protoss ground upgrades got a buff. It's 7... 9 and 11 seconds, I believe. Each upgrade is quicker. So those upgrade timing should hit a little bit quicker. Not a huge impact, but about 30 seconds to +3 overall. Just everything on the Forge, so not air upgrades. That as you can tell so far, has not been a particularly relevant part of any of these fights. How does Dark do this? Look at his drone count. I mean, herO's not doing bad himself, but he's at 60, despite dealing with 3 oracles and like half a dozen adepts. He's sitting here at 60 drones and a 4th base. Like, he just shrugs it off. Of course, getting a 3rd base this early for herO puts him in a great spot to have the follow-up attacks. We're going to see the gateway explosion. All right, herO, show me. 1. Okay, no, we're not going to stop at 1. He's even sitting there with a probe, waiting for it. This is a fake. This is not. He has no intention of doing anything serious with this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay, we're going to build it here. He'll let Dark... Well, if there are no banelings, he doesn't have +1, right? Yeah, this is... I'm going to force you to build units. You don't want to go too far here. There's a prism. He's only got 2 gates, though. So... yeah, he's just getting Dark to freak out. Dark is calling his bluff here. He's already rebuilding drones. He knows. Until these gates finish. Yeah, he's working around the edges. 10 drones. Wow. He's already called the bluff. Before anything else. Did he see the gates? Oh, he didn't see. He just knows. His game sense is so good. Like, he gets to 80 drones, and then he's going to start building units. Right as the production comes online. He confirms everything with the Overseer. This is the first time he's actually seen it. We've got, now for the first time, Hydralisks on the way as well. So Hydra speed makes Hydras move about 25 to 30% faster. I think it's 20. It's a significant speed increase. Whereas before, Hydras with speed were the same speed as Archons, they'll now be faster than them. I forget if that's on creep or not, but on creep obviously helps. I think that's off creep, but we may get a demonstration. Dark is starting with the range upgrade, which usually is still the best option defensively. 15 Hydras on the way, 82 drone. I feel like I am kind of leaning into the Dark commentary bias here, but he's just been playing such a great style and effective while also being incredibly entertaining. But here comes herO. He doesn't, no blank stalkers, just a bunch of charge lots here, a couple disruptors, some banelings already on the field, throws out the disruptor hits. And I mean, they hit. I don't know if they hit anything. Well, there's some more disruptors behind this. The Hydras now upgrading their speed. Don't want to risk it off a creep. The creep tomb are going to scout this. herO has a bunch of gates. He's got 74 probe. How many gates are we at? We're at 8 gates, adding on 2 more. So he can lose these units and replace them. Stasis wards being added in. If he can get 10, 20 supply of especially Ling Bane, he can definitely tilt this fight. Dark starts 3 dropper lords. Baneling drops. +2 melee on the way. He can one-shot probes with those. Couple Colossi as well, mixing those in. Kind of rarely seen, but makes a lot of sense here. Adding I think you don't want to have MDS here. The multiple disruptors. 5 disruptors and then just better robo units. Oh my god. He's got Baneling drops. Will he just drop it on to the Zealots? More Ruptors. The fadeaway shots. Defense in depth here. Huge amount of charge lots. Where are the Baneling drops are headed to the other side. But the charge lot count is so damn high. The Baneling drops flew over this massive charge lots. And now herO has so many gateway units on both sides. Up to the north. Still some disruptors. Archons as well. Fires the shots in a choke point. Gets a bunch of the Bane. A good opening there. A great salvo from herO. But, well, that one not so great. Loses a couple Ruptors. Meanwhile, the Bane drops are heading in. Dark engaging the army. There's no way herO's looking at this. He's gonna lose so many probes. Is he paying attention now? Oh, Dark realized what's happening. He's dropping the Banes! Huge damage! Oh my god, 11, 19 kills, 20 kills. He's got 26 probes. It's a disaster, and it's not over. 39 probes down. Dark has double the worker count. He's obliterated the mineral lines. 3 + 2 Bane drops, a few stasis. Gonna go down, the rest serving as a force field there, but does he have enough to hold the counter? The disruptor shot, a couple Colossi to backstop, a few more disruptors, a handful of Hydras down, but the Banelings are following up, and the Banelings absorb enough damage. Another disruptor goes down to a Baneling. Stasis will unfreeze here. Dark's Baneling drops. Oh my god. Still though, Dark supply, army supply is actually underwater here. Technically everything's underwater on this map, but that's not the drone transfer we were looking for. Bit of an own goal there from Dark. 73 to 36 workers. herO is not rebuilding anymore. I think he realizes it's this army or nothing. He doesn't have any follow-up. If he doesn't get it done here, he's still got 4 Ruptors. It's Hydraling Bane against Colossi, against pretty much 3 flavors of splash damage here. Disruptor shots try to chase. Banelings, he gets through. Broodling's gonna be used. The Disruptor's a little far back. Are those extended? The Colossi don't have range. Meanwhile, another counterattack. He killed a few more. The Colossi don't have range, but Archons don't have range by default, pretty much, so. Dark is actually, he's trying to run up on these Colossi, but look at the speed on those Hydras, slithering away. Thing is, once the attacks start coming through, a handful of Zerglings get into the natural. It's not like herO has a huge probe count here. He can't afford to lose anymore. By the way, the reason we don't see the workers killed is because this is played on the balanced test mod, which replaces the usual observer interface, which, Bobby, you gotta get on that. Fix that. 56, okay? He got a few more Banelings, and here all herO's work rebuilding probes is gone immediately. The Disruptor zoning the Hydras. The charge lots closing in. More Disruptor shots. Couple more Hydras ascend to the heavens. And a Queen as well will join them. And Dark is still struggling to put together an army that could actually counter us. Another salvo. Looking for more. Disruptor up to the left flank. Hits a Zealot and a Hydra. Dark. Yeah, herO has nothing left. This is it. There's Zerglings ripping through the base on the other side. But this army is not... Hydras might be able to run away faster, but the actual fight... herO has less probes. He's down to 6 probes. But Hydras are just not getting the job done. herO is all sorts of in right now. The Hydralisk den's right there. The Hydras are not doing it. Can Dark beat this army? He keeps running away from it. He might go for an actual base trade, but that, I doubt. A recall here? Or loses an observer. Well, he kills the only potential mining base. herO's building 4 probes at a time, which will nearly double his probe count. The army supply... Okay, so Dark has complete... Oh, wait, those are Vipers! Where did those come from? Viper... Parasitic Bomb. I guess it does less damage to the cult... Well... He found Vipers, which means herO a bit dicey to... Thing is, there is no army to beat this. Hydras do not beat this. Lings and Banes are gonna have a real tough time. No matter how fast the Hydras are, the attacks are faster. It's actually a base trade. He's actually base trade. Like, he wants to kill all the buildings. What do you... Dark... Somehow Dark with 15 minutes in. herO's coming back. The Vipers will continue getting value. Is there even a... There is a Templar Archives. But feedback won't necessarily kill. This is the weirdest... Well, like, 6 Zealots seem like they might be too much. He has to fight with drones, which are not the greatest fighting units. Yeah, Hydras... Well... Hydra's, still not the greatest counter to Colossus, Disruptor, Charge Lot, Archon. I think we can confirm that much. as Dark is now long distance mining from his natural. So even though he has the drones, yeah, he's gonna do Hydra drops. Wow. So this looks great for herO. I love how like, when Dark wins, it's been this sort of ridiculous stomp. herO, he hasn't won yet, but Dark, with no units that should be able to counter this, is still somehow making a game of it. Like, he's got, what is his army? He's got 7 Hydras, 4 Dropper Lords, 13 Lings, and 3 Vipers. He's got 3 Vipers, which is a surprising counter to Colossi. With Parasitic Bomb. He's running out of buildings to consume. The Dropper Lord dropped out the Hydras, which are now... I guess here's your test of whether they're faster than Archons. Oh, that wasn't a great test. The Overlords. Dark refuses to tap out. Somehow, we're at 15 versus 9 workers. Another Parasitic Bomb. He's eventually... You can't repair those Colossi. Oh my god. Well, he found the base. Dark has 2 Hydras, which I think is maybe a bit low. But he gets the Warp Prism. Get away! Run! Ah, fire everything! Wait. Okay. 4 Archons is still... How did it come down to this? There were only 4 Archons left. Which sounds like a lot, but... Wow. Wow. How did it come to this? Archons are good. Hydras, not so much here. That may have been the actual scenario for Ultralisk. Wow. Dark loses, but he made herO fight for every tiny bit of it. Oh my. That was quite a Pyrrhic victory there. herO ends the game with less probes than he started with. That's how hard Dark fought him back. Well, 2-1. Cosmic Sapphire. The well, I don't know if the macro map matters. With these two. Why is there... You know, the key to Dark is sending a drone out means nothing. That drone could be taken a third, or it could be... Why would you follow it, though? You can't trust it. Don't trust a Dark drone. He just slipped in the net. I love that. He's in his head right now. He actually manages to get his natural with the simple move to the third. I'm really surprised herO followed the drone. Dark set the tone with that proxy hatch. So herO now sees a drone getting sent out, and he's like, I can't take the risk. So that means Dark gets his natural. I feel like there really are no Protoss. That is what Protoss suffers from. With the absence of zest, hopefully temporary, go into the military. There is no Protoss who has this level of confidence. There is no Byun or Dark Protoss. At least not consistently right now. Like someone who will just be confident they're doing the right move despite what their opponent is doing, despite what the meta, quote unquote, is, or what the correct unit composition. They'll just reject it and substitute in whatever unit they feel like building. And right now, it feels like Protoss doesn't have that player. Zest was that player for Protoss. But herO and herO both are a little inconsistent. Showtime is consistent, but he doesn't have that cheesy streak that we'd love to see. Max Pax does, but also sometimes it looks like he handed his little brother the keyboard, who is somehow even younger than him. So hopefully herO can shore that out. It's really hard to go up against Dark and come out being the more confident one, to be fair. Like, yeah, historically, Protoss has been highlighted by those Protoss players whose specialty is winning. MC, SOS, Harding, Zest. Those are all players who, they dictated the game. You reacted to them, not the other way around. But right now, herO is certainly reacting to Dark, even in games where herO is taking the initiative. Harding. Nope. Dark Shrine. I'm sorry. Freudian slip. I thought, wow. Robo. On the way. Resonating glaives. Meanwhile, Dark has already roaches at 39 supply roaches, so he's very much preparing for this. Honestly, you know who the most confident Protoss player I've seen in the last few weeks is? It's Dark. If you didn't watch Dark playing Protoss, the refusal to accept defeat and turning it into a victory. Somehow, Dark is still the most confident player, even when he plays Protoss. But we'll see if he repeats that, because his Protoss wasn't very good, it was just very confident. There's a bit of a difference there. But here come the Glaved Adepts. He's not even going to risk it off the creep. The Dark, he's showing the Adepts, but it's the DTs that Dark should be worried about. Unfortunately, it's also the DTs he's already prepared for. Oh, nope, he got one! And every DT makes it that much harder to get the Archon drop follow-up going. Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of Zerg. He has 56 Zerglings! All right, does he have Swarmlings? What are you doing? Where did all these come from? Oh my god, so many lings. Well, Blink on the way, an interesting... I mean, what else are you gonna do? Oh, that's already... With the Ravagers... Hey, we panned over here. I am stealing the observer camera, but we panned over. There's already Ravagers. Oh my god. I don't know if he needed to do that, but he actually corrosive bowed the area where you usually warp in. Oh wow, what a trap. He corrosive bowed the area where you warp in Adepts in order to block the Zerg Knights. Did he not cancel that? Wow. Once again, Dark is grabbed control of the game, and herO feels like he has to work around the edges. There's disruptors on the way. The disruptors have been underwhelming. They were enough in the previous game, though I'm not convinced the disruptors were even the best choice. Like, the disruptors did enough, but would Storm have been better? Like, would having just a more Colossi? I don't know, but obviously a few disruptors are good, but relying on them is even less of a possibility in this new patch. The Spire is in the most obscure location, of course. This is the most obvious tech choice, but at the oh come on, no, the sentries. He doesn't care about these lanes. Dark has never cared about a Zergling in his life. A scouting disruptor. He saves it. But, I mean, when you have to save your disruptors from Zerglings instead of executing your timing attack, it's not going well. Dark doesn't have Baneling speed on the way, but he does have Mutas in production. Oh my, is this hallucinated? What are you doing? Is he not going to scout the Spire? He hasn't seen it. What? There's just Banelings over here. He has not seen the Spire yet. There's not that many. There's 13 Stalkers. Sounds like a lot, but there's a lot on the ground for Dark. He didn't actually get... He got +1 ranged attack. The splits, gets a Roach, another shot. Gets, I think, a Roach, maybe? Another shot? Yeah, a couple Roaches and a Ravager. Those ones taking the wrong side of the story. The Mutas, though. Is there any... He has no shield batteries. He has no cannons. There is no defense. herO did a cursory scout for the Spire. It was not remotely enough. God, and just when it looked like herO was putting together a good attack, here comes Dark with the Shiv. Oh my. That is really undercutting the economy right now. Disruptor shot, gonna zone out for quite a bit. He leans back into it. Honestly, another disruptor shot, but whatever. What are you gonna hit? Like a Roach and a Ravager? Sure. More corrosive biles, and they hit because he was... Dark crushes it. 3 decisive victories and 1 narrow defeat for the final boss. 3-1. Oh, wow. Dark is embracing this new patch, even though he didn't... The only time he built units that got buffed, he lost. Though, once again, narrowly. I'm loving watching it, though, and hopefully in this new year, you are as well. Jimmy picked out this video just for you. Not them. Not Twitch chat. Of course not. Never done. But, be awesome if you check it out. Subscribe, like, you know, all this stuff. Thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. See you next time. Good luck, have fun. Stay tuned.